And before I need to get back to Congressman Ro Khanna just real quick. Now, he was in my home city, Cleveland, Ohio today. He spoke at the City Club of Cleveland, which has been around for about well over 100 years, talking about a type of patriotism that is not linked to wealth, that we need to move in a direction that lifts people, working class people. And I'm paraphrasing him. He is, I was co-chair with him on Senator Sanders' campaign, as you both know. And the congressman and I have been knowing each other for a while. We can have hard conversations with each other, and we do behind the scenes. Sometimes you got to call people up and not call them out. And him and I have been friends for quite a while and deepened that friendship, serving on Senator Sanders' 2020 campaign as co-chairs. The message that he sent today, how he called out the Trump administration and Vance included, all of them, I think is important for people like him. Peter, you're right. He could be doing anything, and he is doing this. He is somebody that could be swayed even more. He does take unpopular positions that are different from his mainline Democrat colleagues from time to time. And I got to applaud him for that. That doesn't mean him and I agree on every little thing, but I don't believe to be in relationship with somebody that I have to always 100% agree. What I want to be able to do is always pick up the phone and tell you how I see things, and you can tell me why you did what you did, and either we can agree or agree to disagree. I want your audience to know that Congressman Ro Khanna is that kind of person where other people would not care, in that sphere of what somebody like Senator Nina Turner has to say. Congressman Ro Khanna does, and we've been rocking with each other, and I really appreciate him. So he did a great job here in Cleveland. He's traveling the state. He's traveling the country, obviously. Yeah. And we need people like him that we can pick up the phone and have a conversation with.
He's only one of 2 sitting congresspeople that has come on our show.
Yeah. See, I believe it. He's not afraid to go anywhere. He'll talk to almost anybody. So I just want to applaud him. I got it, Peter. I understand what you're saying. Nobody's perfect, not even me, who you guys love.
No, I definitely agree. I think we've gotten to the point where it is an all or nothing proposition for people that have given up on the system. Yeah. What I will say in Ro's defense, because we know what he's up to, and if he is going to run for governor, he would be the one Democrat in California that I do think would have the type of gravitas and perhaps the amount of credibility on the Democratic Party that would even be worth supporting. We have been very adamant about the fact that we do support Butch Ware, who is running in the Green Party ticket.
I know Butch Ware. Yeah.
Yep, he's good people. And I think one of the true benefits to him running is that you're never going to force the Democratic Party's hand unless there's an alternative that's outside the party that actually has juice. One of the false, one of the, I would consider non-starters, if you will, going back, it's amazing how long we've known each other. But, going back to the summer of 2016 and being in that church 2 days before the convention and with you and Dr. Stein, and obviously all that's evolved ever since that moment. You come here now and anyone is asking, well, why should we fight within the Democratic Party and not be fighting outside of that? Whether you fight within electoral politics is an argument for another day. I think elections do matter. I think it depends on how you go about it is more important. And I think local elections matter more than anything else. But if you are going to be supporting somebody within the party infrastructure, I think today especially, because Ro is obviously very good at raising money. If you are going to go down this road, I think people need to understand that the only salvation that the Democratic Party will ever have or ever see again is if somebody is actually going to put their foot down about very specific issues. Gaza, non-starter. Endless war, including Ukraine, and ultimately, whether it happens with China or not, non-starter. Single-payer healthcare, non-starter. If you are going to be the governor of California, you have to say, I will sign CalCare into law if I am the chief executive of the state of California. These are the little things that somebody has to just take that leap of faith and say, I'm going to go with this, instead of the statement that Katie Porter unfortunately put out there just a week ago. At some point, somebody has to say, we're going to make a clean break. It doesn't mean we're leaving the Democratic Party, but we're making a clean break from the neoliberalism that has dominated this party for the past 2 decades. So do you see the validity in people choosing to go the path of supporting somebody like Butch Ware? And do you still feel that if the Democratic Party is going to be salvaged in any capacity, there has to be some type of a clean break. And if somebody like Ro is willing to do it at the gubernatorial level, perhaps it's possible, but you can also understand why people have given up on the two-party system at this point. Would you say that would be fair to say?
Duopoly is a complete failure. It's an epic fail. It serves no one but itself. These people eat from the same trough, and it's called corporate power. That's really, there's no difference. It's just a difference on how they put it out into the world, how they operate versus, it's the difference between the fox and the wolf. That's all this is, but it's the same. Both of them going to attack you. And I want people in this country to vote for whoever they want to vote for. That's what a representative democracy is about. And it's just an asinine idea that over 300 million people, that two parties could fulfill the needs of over 300 million people. The duopoly only works for two private corporations, and that's the Democrats and the Republicans. The duopoly does not work for the everyday people of this nation. And there is an awakening at this moment. We see the town halls. It's not just Republicans now too scared to go to their own town halls because their Republican voters are asking the question, what the hell are you doing? The same thing is happening at Democratic town halls too, asking Democrats, what the hell did you do? And what are you doing right now? Why don't you have the intestinal fortitude or the ovarian audacity to put up a fight? It's kind of hard for them to put up a fight because two things that people really despise: liars and hypocrites. And the Democratic Party has proven itself to be a bit of both.
Yeah.
Especially on the hypocrisy side, when they had the opportunity to truly change material conditions for people in this country. You know, I think about when I went down to East Palestine, and I talked to you both about this, and I went down there immediately went down there about an hour and a half away from Cleveland, Ohio. And the most shocking thing of this poor and working class community that in 2020 voted almost 90% for President Donald J. Trump. I don't have their stats for 2024, but let's just assume they kept the pattern. The most shocking thing when they saw me down there was not that I'm Black from a distance, that I'm an African-American woman from a distance. You know what the most shocking thing was? That a Democrat came down there to see them. It took Secretary Buttigieg 10 days while he was on TV talking all kinds of smack. And it took President Biden almost a year to get there. President Trump went right there. Say what you want about this man. He is using power in a way that is destructive. Don't get me wrong. But one thing he does know how to do is to use power. And the Democratic Party needs to understand how to use power to benefit the everyday people in this country and stop making excuses. You know what I would have did to Mansion and Cinema? I would have gassed up the jet. I double dog dare you to stand against me for policies that are going to help the everyday people of this country. That's what I would have done. Single payer, you know, universal health care, all of that. They did none of that. He could have signed all kinds of executive orders, do away with student debt when he had the opportunity. So again, President Donald J. Trump is doing a disservice to everyday people in this country. He is weaponizing the presidency. He has absolute power because the Congress has totally abdicated its responsibility to be a constitutional check on executive power. The man is threatening judges. You know what I mean? But the Democrats brought this on. And it wasn't just the one Biden. It was all the way back to even at that book that you're reading. See, yeah. And there is a connection to the last election, to the last. None of this stuff happened in a vacuum. But in most recently, if we want to make it recent for our viewers, 2016. Anytime you thwart the people's will and process in the way that Democrats did, and then you want to talk about how the Republican Party doesn't care about democracy. Well, Democrats, neither do you, because I'm old enough to remember how they sued to keep Dr. Cornel West off ballots in this country, Dr. Jill Stein off ballots, Congressman Dean Phillips, who was the only actively elected person who had the courage to actually run against President Biden. You know, Marianne Williamson, you guys know where I'm coming. And I bet your viewers know, our viewers, I bet you they know too. So yeah. You cannot say that the Republicans are disrupting democracy, with meanwhile back at the ranch, you doing similar things.